All right. Hey there. I am so excited for today. Today, I'm going to share with you the framework I use to solve any and every problem. I know I've said it before. I started my business to share with you the tools that I've learned and to help others. And so it is so important for you to know the framework that I use in coaching and that I actually use in my own life. I know I'm in a rush to get started, but before we get started, let me introduce myself. I'm Val. I'm a mom, I'm a corporate leader, cancer survivor, and founder of Valarie Best Life and Leadership Coaching. And I love helping career driven women get unstuck and achieve their goals, whether that's at work or at home or both. And so, as I've said, I'm here to share with you the tools that I've learned and that I use to live a better life. So let's get started. Let me and sharing this framework that I call the model. This is the number one tool that I use in my coaching and also in my personal life in my self coaching. So I learned this framework, this model from my coach, Brooke Castile. She created it and has showed me how to apply it in every situation and in everyday life. So it's so good. I have yet to find a problem where this framework doesn't work. And so if you think you have a situation or you have a problem where this doesn't apply, I'm going to tell you, sign up for a coaching session and let's test it out. Let's see if it works. All right, let's get going. The general premise is that all of our pain and suffering that we think is caused by our circumstances or by the people in our lives is not caused by our circumstances or the people in our lives. All of our pain and suffering in our life is actually caused by our thinking. And let me break this down for you. Let me prove it out and let me share with you the 5 parts to the framework. So there's 5 parts. There's our circumstances, our thoughts, our feelings, our actions, and our results. And I'm going to take you through each one of them, and I'm going to tell you an example that I have going on right now in real life and how it applies. So first up, we have our circumstances. These are things that are outside of our control. They're factual. They can be proven in a court of law, and they're actually neutral. Sometimes that people don't like to hear that, but our circumstances are actually neutral. Next up, we have our thoughts. And these are the meaning that we give to our circumstances. We all have different thoughts about the same circumstances, which is what gives us so much interest and diversity in our world and makes each of us a little bit unique. But for many of us, our thoughts are harmful or unnecessary, or maybe even causing us that unnecessary pain and suffering that I talked about. So those are our thoughts. Third, we have our feelings. Our feelings come from our thinking. So we tend to think that our feelings come from that circumstance, but in reality, they're coming from our thoughts. And as I know I've discussed in the last couple of weeks, a feeling is simply a vibration in our body. It starts in our brain and just moves through like butterflies in our stomach when we're nervous, and they're never going to hurt us. So those are feelings. Before I get into actions and results, I'm going to start setting up an example that we can use as we are going through this framework. So I currently have a circumstance where we are remodeling our master bathroom. So that's the fact. It can be proven in a court of law. This is the circumstance of us remodeling our master bathroom. My current thought about that is this is taking forever and they are so unorganized. And from that thought, I have a feeling of irritation. Now, after my feeling comes the action. So all of our actions or our inactions or even our reactions are coming from our feelings. So when I'm feeling irritated by the construction and how long it's taking, my actions are to whine and complain and really not to enjoy the process of having my bathroom remodeled at all. The result, which always comes from our actions, is in my situation, my action is I'm whining and complaining to my husband about it, is that, and as a result of that whining and complaining, I'm the one taking up and wasting time and being unproductive. So our brains are always wanting to prove themselves right. So if I think this is taking forever, guess what? My brain's finding evidence to prove it. And I'm wasting time and being unproductive, whining and complaining. Now, how do I know that my irritation is in fact coming from my thought and not from my circumstance? Let me give you an example here. What if I changed my thought about remodeling our master bathroom? What if I thought, again, the circumstance hasn't changed. We're remodeling our master bathroom. What if I thought, this is so awesome. I'm finally getting the bathroom that I wanted when we moved in 2 years ago. Well, from that thought, you know what my feeling is? It's not irritation, it's excitement, which then causes me, when I'm excited, to start thinking, okay, how do I want my bathroom to look? What details do I still need to pick out? What tile do I need to pick out? I'm thinking about how I'm going to decorate it once we get it done and how I'm going to put the finishing touches on it and really make it my own. And the result that I'm generating from those actions is that I'm getting the bathroom that I've wanted for the last 2 years. So, a way different result. One is me wasting time and being unproductive myself. And the other is getting the bathroom that I always wanted. So, you see the big difference between this is taking forever and they're so unorganized, that thought, to the thought, this is so awesome. I'm finally getting the bathroom I always wanted. So when I learned this framework, the first thing I did, and that I had control and I had the power to change. The first thing I did is I wanted to change and fix everything, to solve everything. And most of my clients want to do the same thing. But there's a couple things that I want you to know. One is you really only have control over the thought within that framework. So of all the things that you can change, the thing that you can change is your thought line. You can't change your circumstances. You can't change your feelings, your actions, or results unless you change your thought. So, as a life coach, that's where I spend a lot of my time is on the thoughts and really digging in and finding out what those thoughts are. Most of us outside of life coaching and just kind of in our everyday lives, we focus on changing the actions, which is where it leads us to a lot of the frustration. And we think we need willpower or whatever it might be. We're focused in on those actions. Oftentimes, I'm also guilty of trying to fix my thoughts too quickly. But before you can fix them, you really need to become aware and notice when they're showing up and why are you choosing those thoughts? Because you are choosing that thought. So, just kind of learning and being curious and being aware of our thoughts is really the first step. And then I found is that when we go a little slower, which is not my preference, but I have learned that when I go a little slower and decide to start to change that thought, I find that it's longer lasting if I've spent some time being aware and really understanding where those thoughts are coming from and exploring those in the first place. So the change long term is a lot more stickier when I spend a little bit more time and I slow down. I also want to share with you that this isn't about positive thinking. This isn't about, rainbows and butterflies here. You can change your thought, but if you don't believe it, it's not going to work. This is about really changing your thoughts and your beliefs and to be able to really make that change all the way through the framework, all the way through that model. So I want you to find the thoughts that help you feel the way you want to feel. I want you to then start thinking and practicing them. I want you to, become aware of your thoughts. And this is how you can start to change the cycle and create the solutions to the problems that you have, whatever problem that might be. You can boil any problem, any situation into those 5 different categories. So I'm going to say and encourage you to try this out. Get out a sheet of paper and write out CTFAR, circumstance, thought, feeling, action, R, and see what you can identify. This is something you can do on your own. Or it's something that if you want help, I'd be happy to walk you through it. If you want to sign up for a coaching session and really teach you how to use this framework, how to use this model in your life. Everyone, this is so powerful. This is where the magic is. And so I am so glad that you've joined me, that you're learning this, and that you are thinking about taking action with your own thoughts and making a change and figuring out how you can solve the problems that you have going on in your life. So thanks for hanging with me today. This is the most powerful tool I can teach you. You will see it in everything I teach, everything I say, and everything I do from here on out. Try it, solve any problem that you have, and until next time, live big. Thanks.